Hello, welcome. Just have a couple more
Last minute
adjustments to make. But hello, my name is Ian,
I'm Lauren.
and together we're Bars and Bells. This is the morning routine at a new time, in our new corner with our same favorite people and our same favorite moves. So hello, I'm excited.
Let's get
This is
started.
from the darkest we've ever filmed in the studio.
And the best
The
place.
best light. So this might be our night owl or early morning routine. We're gonna get on the ground like Laura, but then we're gonna get on the ground like me on the back. So check out your knee pads, check out your back pads. Breathe on your back to start. Do your chin tuck, get those hair buns, things. Come on. Hand on the belly, hand on the chest. Breathe in and out of the nose. Where is the air going? In the lungs, of course, but is it filling up into that belly on the inhale? And then falling on that exhale? Or are you feeling that in the chest? Perhaps you can change and intentionally breathe into the chest. That may be called a shallow breath. Exhale. You breathe one more into the chest. Exhale. And then for a repetition here, breathe into that belly. And exhale. Continue belly breathing. Exhale. Let's breathe two more. Exhale. Last breath and then a hold. Breathe in. Exhale. Slowly, get yourself towards that all fours position. That was nice. 10 seconds of quiet, 10 seconds of holding your breath can feel like a really long time. We're not going to do more of those breath holds in this practice, but work yourself towards 30 seconds. See what's up. Stay calm. Before we do anything else on these hands and knees, Lauren is using the pad much more optimally. There we go. Fingertips wide open. Elbows forward, armpits low. From here, lean forward. Midnight like that movement clock will be later. Press back to center. Push all the way back with straight elbows towards that 6 o'clock or south timeline. And then forward. And then push one side to the other. And then pushing through my left to travel to my right. 9 and 3s, east and wests. Movement clocks coming up soon too. For one more drill on those hands, first knuckle push-ups, and down. First knuckle push-ups. Big palm stretch here this morning. Aim to keep the index finger down for 3 repetitions more, avoiding this flexed elbow or pronated shape here. Instead, push heavy through those fingers, and maybe last repetition. We'll come back to those hands in a second as well. Extend that out. Can we squeeze our butt cheeks in this tall heel position? Start at a gentle hinge. A hinge, the bum will go back. Now, extend the hips to tall. Now push the hips forward just a little bit more. And then one more degree. And then slowly set up a hip hinge again, pushing your bum to the back. And then cramp the butt cheeks together, extend the hips, but then bring them through just a little bit more. And then relax. We'll come back there in a second as well. Let's get back to those hands, check in with that head neck. Take us through your favorites there.
Put your hands on the floor underneath your shoulders, wide open hands, wide open fingers, gripping through those fingers and knuckles. Pack your shoulders, gently starting by rotating on the axis of our spine. So we're doing our shoulder check or a little bit of a rotation. So if you're looking over one shoulder, pulling your head back to center and repeating on the other side. So that nice long axis here is your spine running through the tip of your head, smarty on your hat, and that's what you're rotating around. One more time on that other side. Smarties. Back to center. From here, neutral head, so you'll be looking at the floor. I'd like you to just gently tuck your chin towards your chest. Thinking about pushing those first couple of vertebrae up into the ceiling, and then slowly relax that. Same thing 2 more times. Tuck your chin, pushing those vertebrae, ones, twos, up into the ceiling, and relax. And last one, gentle tuck. It's not a lot of movement, just the opposite of that forward head. Relax. One more from here. Do our lateral flexion. Thinking here about an ear towards the shoulder. Yesterday as we were doing this, and then pull your head on straight. Ian talked about your nose being your pivot point, and that the nose doesn't really move. And I like that. Pulling back to center. Pivoting so your nose doesn't really move. It's not an extreme trying to get your ear all the way wrapped around your body. Last time the other way. Pulling back to center. Pushing the floor away to sit up tall again.
Let's practice those hip extensions from our knees, or take a quick stand if you need to. Actually, let's just all do that. Let's come up anyhow you wish to stand. I know that can be a little bit a long time on the knees, and we are going to spend some more time. Step backwards just a little bit more. I want to see your head. Oh, not that backwards. There you go. Okay, so from standing, if we're fully erect, chop up those hips. And very, is my head hinge up too? So we'll set up that hip hinge. Doesn't have to be big right now, just take a nice powerful stance to make you take a jump from. From there, we'll squeeze our butt cheeks and extend our hips. But now, just push the hips a little bit more forward. And we want to look like Lauren and avoid the look like the limbo. The hips are coming forward, but the rib cage is coming with us. Let's take 2 more like that. We'll just set up a light hinge. Push our bum back, keep your spine nice and extended or neutral. Push the feet into the floor, stand up. Squeeze the bum, but more importantly, push the hips under or forward. One more repetition. We'll chop. I push my feet down and away into the floor for traction. I cramp my bum cheeks, fully extended to tall, and then just a little bit extra, push the weight forward. Shake it out. No rules at this point. Let's get down on the floor and continue some hips. To the floor we go. How does that feel in the hands? Neutral wrists or these fists can be appropriate too. If we're using fists, it's still maintaining beautiful straight lines here, avoiding this, whether on your bicycle or in exercise, avoid those dumpy wrists that can go tingly on the fingers. So, set up your wrists in a comfortable way here. Oh, are we doing that?
Oh, I thought you said.
Yeah, that's an option. You could do that, but let's just go here for a second. So, continuing with our hips just for a moment, and then reconnecting with our spine after. Pull and lean forward into hip flexion, meaning lift off the floor, compressing up in the hip, and then pull the knee forward, and we're going to hold that for like 5, 4, 3, the tailbone's going back, the knee is forward, gently placed on the floor. Alternate to the other side. Hip compression first. This might be called a vertical horse stance, and then from here, pull the knee forward while pulling the tailbone back. So lumbar extension and hip flexion. Go, 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 go. And then same thing towards those side directions now. I'll be just using more as Rob, more than doing it myself. So pulling off the floor, and then reaching this leg out to the side, Maintaining the hips beautifully level. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and slow down for 1. Alternate to the other side. From laying down or standing, it would be that leg out to the side here, maintaining the hips level, checking that rotation in the knee, maybe adding a deep knee bend for added tension, and then nice and slow to return. The last shape we'll get into, if Florence backs up just a little bit here, will be that hip extension. In the hip extension, from standing or crawling, maybe a knee bend, compressed hip, and then extending to the back with a kick. I'm trying to kick the wall behind me. Lauren is very gently trying to kick through the ceiling. 2 more seconds. Pull that down. Very well done. And one more time on the other side. Same thing. Let's do it.
Trying to get a good side profile.
So packing the shoulders, as Lauren does beautifully here, we're going to pull into the hip, and then look out and reach to the side. Oh, that's right. We're doing our hip extension. Hip extension. Whose back looks better? Lauren's does. So I'm going to pull my rib cage up.
2, 1.
We'll come back to that movement, as we said, in a second. Until then, take some time off those hands. And let's do the upper body rotation.
Okay. From here, just adjust. I like to sit in my low kneel. You can also sit in your tall kneel. You can also sit on your bottom in a chair. Cross your arms across your chest. Your chin is right now in line with your sternum looking forward. I want it to stay that way this whole exercise. As you rotate, your head rotates with you, but only as far as your sternum. From here, take your upper body and rotate it in one direction. Just take a second, try to take a breath in there. Filling your belly. Maybe you can exhale and rotate more. And then think about pulling yourself back to center using your core. Same thing other way. Head rotates with you. Body does the rotation. Tougher side. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, try to rotate further. Pull yourself to center. Great. This time, we're going to add to it. Rotate to the first side again. Now dip off that corner. So like you're going up and over that back corner, then pull yourself back up tall. Try to rotate further. And then dip off that back corner again. Pulling self tall. And then rotate to center. Take a second. Last time, other side. Rotation through that upper body.
Growing taller as you do.
Dip off that back corner. Pull yourself back up, take a little breath. Exhale, rotate. Side bend off that back corner. Pull yourself to tall. And then pull back to center. And relax.
Back onto those hands. And now full circular articulations in those hips. Connecting those dots. Set up those hands, pull elevations forward, sharing a little through the hands. Pull into the hip in the compression. I'll be doing my left first. Slip it up. The tailbone stays long as the knee comes forward. It's still going forward, forward, forward. Then it reaches towards the side as there's less room in the front and more out here. And pulling out to the side now. You require that internal rotation in the hip now as you turn the foot to the ceiling by turning that femur bone in that hip socket. We're all in that hip extension position with our legs out the back. And now keep your tailbone long, pushing your tailbone to the back wall as the knee comes forward. Hover, 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 hover. Now 1 repetition the other way, extend the hip towards the ceiling, keeping the ribs tight, feeling lots of work in the hips, no pain in the back. Then we're going to open up in that hip socket. The knee drives out. Try to scrape the wall on my left-hand side here as I pull the knee underneath the elbow, back into that center hip flexion position. And now tailbone stays long as the knee returns to the floor. Take a second off those hands. I do recognize that can be pretty intense. But then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, please. Please, again, modify those hands. Holding on dumbbells could be appropriate. Build that endurance tension through the wrists as well. So, same deal, we have our all four stance. We're going to compress in that hip, or pull off the floor. Then, pull forward into our hip flexion. When there's a little less room or no room to go, then move that knee towards the side. Opening up, similar-ish to the hydrant, but not really. Then, we're going to lift up, internally rotating that foot towards ceiling. Hug that center line in the back, and then pull the knee forward into our flexion position. Tailbone stays long. And then to the back, in our hip extension, ribs to hips, locking key, finger bones rotating as we reach out to the side of the knee. The knee brushes the elbow or dreams about touching that elbow as it moves into the center. And then back underneath. Push yourself away. And then here we are. Pretty intense. You can do that more and more. I think for today, one is just quite nice. So from here, we take our time to get up. Making the rules right now. And here we are. We have our balance aids on the side. Maybe challenge it without. Where's that trusty chair? You can use the wall
It's
with
okay.
that. It look great on that wall with that. Alright. So we're going to do some hip bars from standing. Have the same drill here with a straight leg instead of the bent knee. One repetition each. Pull the foot off the floor, dorsiflexing at the ankle, and flex the hip forward. Do so and keep touching that standing leg. Then, when you're almost at that big toe, try to reach across the body towards, say, 11 o'clock. Then we're going to set up that external rotation in the hips as you reach your leg out towards the side. Then at the side, we'll internally rotate on the hip. Are your knees straight? Mine need corrections and talking to all the time too. And then we'll tap the toe down in the back, flexing over and pulling forward. Repeat in the other direction. Brush the leg by that standing leg once or twice to set it up. Think nice and tight, that nice adduction to the body today. And then we're reaching towards across the body. And in that hip, it's an external rotation to lift up and over that hurdle towards the side. A low hurdle is just fine. And bring it towards that front, pulling it in with this butt cheek. And then your butt goes forward to bring the hip through. That's when revolutionary really. Same thing other side. Butt goes forward. Now this is nice to switch this side. Okay. Or maybe not. We'll get another bar or something here. So same thing on the other side now. So dorsiflex at that ankle. And for one or two quick repetitions there, from the butt cheek, like a pendulum, bring that leg through. Then bring it towards that 1 o'clock timeline on our clock we stopped earlier. And then from there we'll turn towards open. Keep the hips forward. If that leg is at that side position now, that's that internal rotation on the hip. Turn your inseam down, and then hug that leg towards the back. Knee is straight, and that's more inseam, mine is not. And then this is the hip flex, bringing that through. Now, leg to the back, crossing the midline a little, and externally rotating in the hip. Inseams forward by the time we get to that 9 o'clock position or 3 o'clock. Pull the leg into center, and now it's your bum going forward that creates that leg going back. We have a couple props off to the side. I'm going to get those. Do you have a light dumbbell, light kettlebell, any household object that you can hold between two hands? Small stick, heavy water bottle, you name it. Small ball, lots of options. Let's get on the floor. Which one do you want? I took the dumbbell. It's an iron. She's strong. You do it. So let's get on our backs here. And take in your load. We have light loads here, nothing too heavy going on. From here, press the weights towards the ceiling.
Yep.
Elevate the shoulders in a shrug. Pull the shoulders down. Protract the shoulders as to reach away from the floor. Retract the shoulders. Let's do all that one more time. Shrug up. Pull down. Reach forward. Pull together. Now keep the shoulders in this together position, and with straight elbows, slowly take your arms towards overhead and bring them back towards over the chest. We're looking to make sure that the low back stays the same pressure to the floor throughout the movement, and that those traps in the upper parts of the shoulders stay down. The straight arms reach back towards overhead. Hold in a challenging place for a 1,000.
Unless you're holding a heavy belt.
And then pull it back over the chest. Let's go 2 or so more repetitions. Reset. Engage the abs. The armpits go low as the hands go high towards overhead. And then pull back. 1 more repetition for those who are using lighter loads than more.
I did my 3, I just did them a little bit
And just
quicker.
nice and slow. The ribs stay down, the arms work themselves towards parallel, and then towards the ceiling. If the weight is over the chest, pull it down to the side, and then in that cuddle position, like our get up. So from here, pretend we're in our get up stance now. So I'm in my fire range position, my hands on the floor, but belt high, excuse me. And then from here, we'll use that hip extension. And even 2 people in tight quarters can do get-ups together.
That's right.
And then from the hip extension to the tall sit to our bridge,
Oops.
and then lunge, and then through. And I hope that we can do that a little bit better later this morning. And now we're back up. Woo! And shake that out. Working on some weight transfers as well. Let's do a little quick horse stance, slide, glide, and we'll come back. To the floor again.
Standing. In your stance, slightly wider than your hip width apart. I feel like you can see it back. Oh, then my head's chopped off. 1 second. There we go. In your slightly wider than hip width stance, toes slightly pointed out. First, tuck your hips under, bracing your abs. Wall in front of you, wall behind you. Don't hit your walls as you slowly slide down. Hang out. Push one leg to go straight so the other knee pushes over your toe. Then pull your legs together to come back through center. And then push the other leg long to knee over toe. Pull yourself back to center. Pause. Can you sink a little lower? And then drive into the floor to stand yourself all the way up tall, extending your hips, squeezing your glutes, pulling your kneecaps up, toes heavy on the floor. Relaxing for a second. Re-tuck under. Slide yourself down.
I'm turning this way because Lauren always corrects me to be more upright.
Push one way so that the leg goes straight and long. Let's push so much that we actually push the heel and the ball of the foot off the floor and just our toes are touching. And then roll back through toe, ball, heel, pull the floor together as you push one way. Again, you push so far over that the heel lifts, the toe points, and we hold for 3, 2, absorb that floor, pull to center, stay up tall. Let's stand up tall for a second again. Butts, kneecaps, one last time. Tuck, pull yourself down. Push one way. Keep pushing through the whole foot for 100% transfer. Can you transfer all your weight onto that leg? Stand up tall on that leg, extending your hip, extending your knee. Knee pushes over toe again. Toe, ball, heel pulling the floor together, but then pushing one way. Heel lifts, ball lifts, toe lifts, holds, extends. Knee over toe, toe, ball, heel pull. Now push the floor away to stand up tall. Squeeze it from mean, unsqueeze it. You'll have to
Shake it.
shake it.
Let's get back down to the floor. No rules. What's your favorite creative way to get down? I read an article once about that longevity test. A lot of people love to cross those legs, no hands down on the floor. I like anything you like. What do you got? Let us know. What's your way to get down? Okay.
That was sloppy. Pullovers again?
Pullovers. One more time on those pullovers. So on this pullover, we can take that weight in our pedal position and then pressing it over the chest. We'll repeat the shoulder scap sets first. Repeat an elevation shrug. The weight of the object in your hands shouldn't move that much. Pull low. Push up. Pull back. Repeat one more time with our shrug. The load stays in about the same position, then pull the armpits back down for the pressure in the scaps, lats, and then reach or press to the ceiling, and then retract. Do your chin tucks. Make sure this tension pressure stays consistent throughout this rep as we go 3 repetitions or so with straight arms towards your safe straight overhead, avoiding rib flares, maintaining our core tension, and pulling back over top. Take that sniffing to prepare. Armpits stay low as the arms go towards overhead, and then back towards over chest. Repeat one last time. Armpits stay low, ribs stay engaged to those hips. Reach, pull back center, and then pull back to the ground. And then come. And then if you can remember what side you did the last time, let's alternate that. So now we have our other hand towards the ceiling. Let's push through the hip with our hip extension.
Whoops.
To our tall sit.
No.
Our tall sit to our sweep. Sweeping to the windmill. Windmilling to our lunge. And then we're up, down. And I saw this really kind of soft elbow on the up there in like that shadow. Me.
Oh.
I saw a shadow. Bent elbow. Gotta fix that up for the next time. Continuing with some weight transfers with the final exercise for today, and we'll get back down to the floor and say goodbye. Working on that 4th transition, that's been one of my favorite exercises that Lauren's shared with us. Keep going. I promise to stumble into that.
Okay.
That's
Standing.
never feeling crowded. Good.
Standing with your feet facing forward, gently squeeze your bums and rotate out into a slightly turned out position. Transfer weight onto one leg and take the other leg and point it to the front. Place it down through your toe ball heel and feel weight right now between 2 feet. You could go forward, you could go backwards. I want you to put it 50-50 for a second. Try to stay square forward with your hips and shoulders. Then push through your back foot to transfer weight to your front foot. Flat foot right now. Push, 100% transfer. Hold the balance on your front foot for 3, 2, then absorb through the back foot toe ball. Heel, pushing your front foot forward to go back. Onto that back leg with a pointed front foot. Squeezing glutes, square forward. Toe ball heel of the front foot as we push through the back to transfer weight forward. Pause in center. Let's push down if we feel like we'd like a challenge. Let's push down and go up on our reps. From here, we're pushing off the back leg to transfer weight to that front foot. Before you 100% transfer, make sure your ankle is stacked under your knee under your hip under that shoulder, and you're pulling yourself up to the ceiling. 3, 2, just toe and ball land of your back foot. Grip the floor with that back foot as you push the front foot forward to transfer weight to your back leg hold, stacking joints and holding for 3, 2, then toe out the front, toe ball, land 2 feet controlled at the same time. Transfer weight to the back foot, pull your leg back underneath you. You should be in that turned out V-ish shape, or not. And then we'll transfer weight to what was the front leg. We'll now transfer weight up to what was the front leg, point the other leg forward, place down. We should be standing now the opposite way we were just standing. Other leg forward. Hips forward, shoulders forward. Think about pushing weight to that front foot, flat foot for now. Transferring weight on that flat base of support. Absorb through the back foot, toe, ball, heel. Pushing the front foot forward to transfer weight back. And again, when you transfer weight back, you do have to step back and transfer that load. Toe, ball. Let's get in between 2 feet. Push down to go up. Push off the back foot to go forward. Finding a balance on that front leg. Again, stacking ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, eyeball, 2, 1, toe ball at the back, absorb, push forward to go back, stack, stack, stacked, holding, 5, 3, 2, 2 feet, 2 feet, 2 feet, controlled descent, both heels land, transfer weight to your back leg, hold the front foot in, look down, pretty good, heels should be close together, legs touching, V shape, relax.
Excellent. Thank you for joining. Let's get back down to the floor, take a couple breaths, and say, nice. We started our practice today with a 10-second hold. Can you take 4 breaths again? On the 4th breath, hold the inhale, and then 10-15 seconds. Let's try it one more time. Take a sniff in, and out. And in, and out. Click here, in, out one more time. Exhale. How many? 15?
Actually, I didn't look at the clock.
I think I was counting 15, seeing Lauren's thumbs twiddle back and forth. For fun, for challenge, to help with our breathing, to stay strong in all ways, even in those airways. Practice your breath. Ron McLean, come on, I'm in. We got Lauren Cherry, Ian McLean here. Thank you very much for joining this morning's practice. It continues to be fun. I think we're going to have to do some midnight filming sessions because this light has been the best. We enjoyed this session with you. We hope that your day is full of light beverages and strong movements. And we'll be here again next week. Check the schedules. Check the website members only section. Visit that for new updates, new programs.
New episodes.
And we're going to go get coffee behind that yellow wall. Thank you very much. Have a good morning. See you soon.
Goodbye.
Coffee!